G'day everyone, welcome back to Baggers Unfiltered 26. I'm your host Henry and you are.
Louis from the Perth Bluebaggers pod and Carlton Flaggers. Good to be here.
First of all, I did not expect our last 2 weeks to go the way that they have, view-wise and like-wise and subscriber-wise. But we have a little announcement, which you might not be aware of, but Louis and I just hit 200 subs yesterday. So, good effort from us, and we're really happy. So I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's been here since day one and the ones that are just slowly coming in now. So if you haven't already, welcome to the podcast. Louis and I, we just talk Carlton. We love Carlton. So if you're here, you're here. Yep. Thank you for being here. I want to say a massive thank you to all the guests. I'm not going to name all of them, but they know exactly who they are. Wouldn't be here without you. So super excited to get into this week, and let's make it 8 in a row against Hawthorn.
Hey, I'm just trying to get something.
Louis trying to get something. This happened then. There we go.
It would have been better timing if I put it after the subscriber announcement, but I was struggling to find it. Anyways.
That's all right. There we go. We got it in the end. It's been a little bit of a work in progress, but as I said, we're really thankful. We're really grateful to everyone who's chipped away, listened to our pod, and hopefully a few more steps coming up soon. I know we've said it before, but we're hoping to get this podcast on Spotify at some stage. I don't know what that was for, but okay, righto.
Yep. Big news, big news. Nice.
There we go.
You want a drum roll?
Drum roll going. Okay. All right.
Anyways,
actually, we'll go and talk a bit of footy now, but Louis, kick us off. Obviously, we've got the team, so I might actually start with the teams, and then Louis will talk about what we need to do and then go from there. So, obviously, the only inclusion this week was Harry Dean for Lewis Young. Obviously, Young's out with concussion protocols. So, look, our defense is going to be under the pump again, especially with some possible news of Pinnonet going in for a scan on his hamstring tomorrow, meaning that Flynn Riley would come in for a debut, which would be really, really nice to see. Obviously, the mid-season
exclusive Carlton Flaggers
stuff on Baggers Unfiltered.
There.
Flynn Riley picked for a mid-season draft. Hopefully, he goes well. That's if he plays. There's talks around Pinnonet going in for a scan on his hamstring tomorrow. So we're hoping that's nothing serious, and you never know. Maybe it's just precautionary, maybe it's just tightness. But lucky enough, we have 3 ruckmans. So even if that means that Reedy comes in next week, even if it is actually quite a big injury, then Riley and Reedy can do the job. Hopefully, I think Cameron would give them a bath next week, but you never know. You just never know. On to the actual podcast now, Louis, where you're going to kick us off. What do we need to do better than what we did against Richmond? What needs to happen in order for us to even just put up a fight against the top 4 Hawks?
Well, Hawthorn are quite powerful offensively, so the key to this one is defence. And I think we've proven over the last 7 to 8 weeks under Fraser that our defensive work is the best in the league. We're rated number 1 in the league for various measures defensively. So what we can do about that? So we know that Hawthorn like to have elite ball movement and overlap run. That's something that's crucial. So we need to have strong pressure around the contest. We know they'll probably bring that as well. And their forward line is quite dangerous because they capitalize on turnovers. So our defenders need to be on point as well and really stay composed. So they're also good at transition from defense to attack. So again, man up, defense, pressure, just really fundamentals, I would say. And you just can't allow them uncontested chains, marks, handballs, whatever. Just keep doing what we've been doing the last 7 to 8 weeks, and I think we'll be okay. So that's one starting point on how we can ensure that it's not an absolute blowout. Uh, and it's pretty simple, really. I think any team can do that. It just requires a little bit of effort with some tackling pressure, pressure acts, 1%ers, you name it. It's doesn't take a whole lot of skill to do that. So that saying, we probably couldn't manage at that level, but that they're well trained enough to probably do so. So look, I think at AFL level, that's a given. You have to do that. So what we need to do, I think we need to start well. So last week against Richmond and Essendon, we didn't really start too well. We're very inconsistent. Just looked off our game a little bit. So need to like sort of stick to the process still. Trust the overlap run handball game that's been working the last few weeks. Keep lowering the eyes inside 50. Maintain the elite forward pressure and defend turnover well. All of the things we've been seeing from them. Midfield battle will be crucial as well. You got Cripps, Walsh, Hewitt, Jagger versus Newcomb, Will Day. Some of their smalls go through it. Ginnivan. Who else have they got? Not Watson because he's out. Thank goodness, that's good for us. Who else? Who else?
Josh Ward. Josh Ward's been in some really nice form. Harry Morrison goes through the middle. Guinea obviously goes through the middle. I think Watson's obviously a big out for them. I think they're obviously a much better team with him and Battle in the team. So hopefully, obviously this year, Charlie Curno's gone, and so Josh Battle can't give him a bath. So that's two less headaches. I think that there's obviously a chance. There's obviously going to be a chance this week, but I seriously I don't see us getting up. I'm just gonna be honest. I think the way that we played last week was pretty shit, and probably the game against Essendon as well. It hasn't gone completely downhill from there, but there's just been little moments there where we've just been really really bad, and I think the Hawks could easily blow us out. I don't think it's going to be a blowout loss. I think it's going to be a 20-point loss, but I feel like we need one. I know I said it in the podcast last week that we probably needed that game against Richmond, and I think we probably need a loss this week against Hawthorn just to actually regroup and just get together again, go again against Collingwood, which is going to be the biggest game of the year for us. It's going to be, it's massive. It doesn't get much bigger than that, and I know eyes should be towards this week, and my eyes are completely towards this week. I hope we win. If we win, we're going to win the flag. So,
I mean, I'm not tipping us. No. Even if we demolish Richmond, probably wouldn't have. I know I'm the so-called most delusional Carlton fan there is out there, but look, I'm going to have to stay level-headed here. It's certainly a tough matchup. But we have to absolutely bring our best if we want to get over the line here. It's going to be similar to that Geelong game, and it won't be a comprehensive win by that stretch, I don't think. But the midfield battle is crucial. Can Carlton continue to win clearances and stoppages? That was a problem last week. Imagine against Hawthorn. So that's an area of fault there. What about who's Hewitt's sort of defensive role going to be unless they utilize him offensively in goals?
I'd chuck him through the middle. I'd rotate Jagger and Hewitt quite a bit. I'd also let Chera probably in the middle this week in case of anything. If something happens, just switch it up. Ainsworth as well. I know it's going to be a real challenge. I think the way that we're going to be able to win this game is in the middle, and I think that will come off the back of Walsh, Cripps. I don't think Hewitt's a game winner. He's a game winner in clutch moments up forward, but I don't think he's a game winner in the middle. I think Ben Ainsworth is a game winner in the middle, so I'd be putting him through there as much as he possibly can. I'd be playing Haywood up the ground like we've been doing, and I've been saying it for a while. I would let Kemp go up the ground and let Harry float back and just try and kick goals. I know it's a little bit different, but sometimes you got to try different things, and sometimes they pay off. So you never know. it sort of sounds like us in the group chat. Like middle of the game, sometimes you got to try new things. I feel like Jagger's a game winner. I feel like he can easily float through the middle whenever he wants. I don't think Chera's a game winner, personally. So I'd be playing Ainsworth over Hewitt and Chera in the midfield if it's a close match. That's just my personal opinion. And if there wasn't Ainsworth, I'd put Hewitt over Chera, which we've obviously been doing a lot. I really like the way that Chera's been going about his game, coming off half back. I think just suits him. It just suits him more than it does in the middle. It just looks a little bit more composed, which is exactly what we've been lacking over the last few years. A bit of composure off the half back line. But I think the biggest thing now is the backs. So Scholl, Lewis, Gunston against Dirksen, Haynes, Dean, Cowan. A lot of inexperience there, but also a fair bit of experience for us in Haynes and Cowan.
And Newman.
And Newman. Yeah, Newman's going to have a big one. Newman's going to have a 30.
We're all going to have to. It's
I think
if we get over the line, there's going to have to be.
It's going to have to come off
19 players of note.
It's going to have to be a Taylor Byrne, Jack Ison, Matt Cottrell, all good games. They're going to have to hit the scoreboard. Pretty simple. Frankie Evans just has to do what he's been doing. I really want Ison to get going because he's been pretty poor the last few weeks, and in this circumstance in the year, I would have been playing Williams over him any day of the week. I'm a little bit frustrated that we haven't done that. I would have really loved to see Williams come in for Ison just this week, or Byrne. Obviously there's a lot more experience with Williams in big games than there is Ison and Byrne. Williams played in the grand final. He lives for these moments, and it's most important. This could easily be the most important game of the year. Haywood needs to have another big game. He needs to hit the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to have big games. Kemp needs to do what he did last week because that was really good. I just want him to take another step in the right direction. Everyone just play their role. One person that I'm really looking forward to watching, Ollie Hollins. I really think if Hollins doesn't get going this week, there's going to be a little bit of trouble at the selection board. So
I'm gonna just have a look and see how much time on ground Ollie Hollins had because he didn't get big numbers.
He didn't have that much. He didn't have that much, unfortunately. So it's going to be different. Right. It's going to be one different match. This one.
Let's have a look. 93% time on ground for just the
11 disposals, wasn't it?
But at least his efficiency was at 85% and no turnovers, so
that's
can't fault that. 4 score involvements, 22 pressure acts. That's good. He was running hard, I'd say, and defensive. But yeah, big game for Ollie. Now, here's another bit of a talking point. Can Carlton score enough on the weekend? So our conversion just has to improve. You have to capitalise. You have to.
Oh, mate, I swear to God.
Goal inaccuracy, it does my effing head in. Just sort it out. And it's at the MCG. There's probably going to wind affect things as well. But that's the only way you have to be efficient. We let Richmond into the contest due to our inaccuracy.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
And I think Hawthorn would easily capitalise on that opportunity if we gave it to them. So need to reward our dominance on the scoreboard when it happens. And
just quickly, Louis. Yeah. Just quickly. Sorry. You're allowed to swear, by the way.
I like to stay level-headed. Anyways, what I'm saying is, look, when there was the fade-outs going on, even though those were certainly an issue, the players certainly had a role to play because they would miss shots at goal that could have easily have put us up another 2 or 3 goals, which could have, placed even more pressure. And I think we were in a bit of an unsaleable position at that point. So that would have been much better and we could have snagged a few more wins there. But that's what I'm a little bit worried about this weekend.
The real shit thing is, Against West Coast, we won by 55, and we kicked 15 points.
Mm.
Right, that's if you kick
Happens
six
every
more
week.
goals. If you kick 6 more goals, all of a sudden that looks really good. Like 8 points is fine for a game, and you win by 80. Right, and that's percentage. There you go, 80-point win, bang, in the books. Richmond, you scored 14 points, led them in the game about 15 times. All right, you kick 6 more goals, you win by 6 goals. So it's just the little things at the moment that are really kicking us in the arse, to be honest. I'm really getting frustrated with the lack of the misses from our leaders as well. Like, just it's leaders that are missing. It's not actual young players. It's to be fair, it is everyone, but it's the people that need to step up that are not stepping up when they're in front of goal. So there's going to be lots of moments in this game where people are going to have to stand up. And I look to Patrick Cripps, who's been pretty putrid in front of goal. Big moment, big clutch moment against Geelong. Bang! That's the win that got us going in this little slump that we had. Or not little, this massive slump. I thought we were back to 2018, but we weren't. That's the thing that got us going, is the skipper being accurate in front of goal, taking a big moment, right? Jagger, I know he's young, but he needs to take his moment. I've seen too much of this little unselfish stuff when he's running into the forward line, trying to pass it off to a 1-on-3. Just take the shot yourself, son. Go for it yourself. If you miss, you still get a point on the board. It's better than a turnover and not scoring at all. Yeah, and I know it sucks because we're on the inaccuracy topic at the moment. But if you're to score 1 point instead of 0 points and still turn the ball over on a 1-on-3, it's completely fine. Right? I'd much rather you do that than completely shit the bed, make a turnover, and then our backs step up again. I'd much rather that than, it's just I'm a little bit frustrated.
Yeah, there does need to be better discernment in that respect. I think, look, there's going to be a bit of a mental challenge as well. When we got the momentum, how do we make sure that it doesn't swing back the other way? Need to stay composed and try not to get exposed on the outside and still maintain our pressure. That's going to be crucial. You can only do that with a positive mindset. So the 7 straight wins will mean that we're on quite a bit of a high, and complacency can't keep in. I know we say every week, but looking just going through the basics here, and of course what we've been banging on about, process over outcome, also will become crucial. So it's a massive opportunity. Win, and I'd say the wild card conversation becomes very realistic. Lose, it's not season over, but it shows what work remains.
Exactly, but it's a real kick in the balls, to be honest.
I would put us down. Well, we can afford to lose 3 more games, so I'm fine with us losing this. But as long as we show the same good, what?
We have to go 3-3 to probably play wild card.
Yeah. So you can afford to lose this game, maybe, and
lose this week. Then I don't care. Please.
Well, I tell you what, it's going to be a chance to prove whether Carlton belongs with the competition's best or whether we are, back with the rest of the pack. You know what I mean? So it's going to see whether we're the real deal, whether it's going to be a real litmus test. It's huge. There's going to be so many takeaways out from it, whether we win or lose, no doubt.
100%, Louis.
And that's all I've got.
That does wrap up episode 92 of Baggers Unfiltered. If you're new here, thanks for listening. If you're not new here, thanks for listening. 8 episodes away from our guest. Going back to episode 10. That's your next clue. Thanks everyone for listening to Baggers Unfiltered. Go Blues.
Up the Baggers.